Hey guys, welcome back to Deadman 110 and welcome back to LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7 and another free roam gameplay showcase video. On the last episode we took a look at Hermione Jean Granger, and now on today's episode we'll be taking a look at ironically, Hermione's boyfriend and husband at the end of the Harry Potter series, Ronald Bilious Weasley. Even though technically he's called Ron Weasley, but that's his full name, basically. And here he is. So the first outfit that he has on is from the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And it's quite accurate. I quite like it a lot. I think it really suits Ron, along with the, scruffed up hairpiece. Showing his trademark messiness. And all that jazz. In terms of abilities, he has the Reducto spell. He has obviously Wingardium Leviosa. He has his Pingu, which replaces his rat that ends up being Peter Pettigrew in the Prisoner of Azkaban. Because Pettigrew, after the whole incident with Sirius Black, came to live with the Weasleys as Percy Weasley's rat, and then Ron basically took care of him and such things of that nature, and then after 12 years, Peter Pettigrew obviously turned back into his sort of human, but yet rattish human form. But anyway, we'll get to Ron's information in a bit. But here is the Pingu. It looks quite cute looking and quite funny, but I digress. He has the Defindu spell, or whatever it's called. He has Ron Weasley actually gets an interesting ability in this game, because instead of him having Luminous Salam, he has his very own De Elamortor, which is basically meant to detect light, and then place it in there. So that's kind of cool. Very unique, and obviously that was what he got from the movies, or from the movie, and I think that was Deathly Hallows Part 1, I believe, and he got that from Dumbledore in his name when he passed away before Deathly Hallows Part 1, that being the Half-Blood Prince. But anywho, so there's that spell, there's the Aquamenti spell obviously, so then Ron can be like Aquaman, and then there's the Expecto Patronum spell. There you go. But now we look at obviously Ron's other attires. So here is Ron just in his Gryffindor robes. So here he is. That's what he basically looks like. Nice and accurate, and obviously all grown up from, the first 4 Harry Potter movies. Or at least compared to those, he's a lot more grown up. Or at least that's what it shows in the actual LEGO game, that being obviously this. Or this. So there's obviously this form of, there's this variant of Ron. Not form, because that would be a bit weird. Okay, why did I activate Super Strength? I did not want that game. I wanted to change character, thank you very much. Now to move on to his attires. So we have Pajama Ron. Blue pajamas. And he looks basically the same as Harry, but with less printing to show that he is wearing pajamas, and I'll show you what I mean right about now. So here's Harry in his pajamas. Actually, no, they've got the same printing and everything. Wow, it's literally the same pajamas. Except Ron says pajamas, blue pajamas, and then Harry's just says pajamas. Interesting. But anyway, that is the variant of Ron in his pajamas, which looks quite nice and obviously very, very similar to Harry Potter's variant of him in his pajamas. But, or him in his pajamas, but either way, it looks quite nice, is what I'm obviously trying to point out, and it's cool. Okay, why is there another version of Pajama Ron? Dare I ask, what's this one about? Okay, I'm gonna see what the difference is between these two Rons. Wow, they just literally straight up put two Pajama Rons in the same game. That is just weird. I don't know what went wrong there, but that is weird. Right, we've got Quidditch Ron now from when he was obviously playing Quidditch. So there he is. And it looks very, very good, honestly. I quite like the detail, and the red cape is quite appealing. Reminds me of course, Superman. But yeah, pretty cool. And I don't know what movie it was taken from, but I do know the scene that it was taken from. And that was when Ron won Quidditch and impressed Hermione. So, there you go. Now we have Ron in a grey shirt. Which this form of Ron, I can't think where it's from, personally. But it looks honestly kind of cool. I like it. It's alright. It's not half bad, honestly. Pretty decent. And then we have Ron in his red sweater. And this version of Ron is just really, really weird to me. Like, it doesn't look all that natural to me. Like, the red and, like, the brown is kind of odd looking together. I don't know why. But also on another note, I can't remember where this was taken out of the Harry Potter franchise. I legit cannot. Maybe you guys can comment down below and obviously show me the ways of what I should have said. Or said. So yeah, maybe you guys can comment down below and obviously do so with that. Now we have Ron disguised from when he was in the Ministry. Ministry of Magic, that is. He was disguised as... Let me show you. It was disguised as Regulorminor, who I think is the husband of her, Mary Cornwall. Yeah, that makes sense. So there you go. And here is Ron. So there's his disguise. Of course, he has his Pingo and all the other stuff, and yeah, this looks kind of cool. Sort of looks like an adult Ron, if you get what I mean, like what he would look like if he was an adult. So I kind of like that. In all honesty. I do think it looks kind of like an adult Ron. But anywho, moving on to the next one. And it is Naked Ron. It was the same as Harry, but without the necklace around his neck. So there you go, there's Naked Ron for you. And that was from the Deathly Hallows Part 1, when Harry and Ron were going to find Horcruxes. Or at least one of them that ended up being underwater. And then we have Ron Wedding, which was from Bill Weasley and Fleur Delacour's wedding. So this is what he looked like. Looks pretty fashionable, I'm not gonna lie. It honestly looks pretty cool looking. Now we have Ron in winter clothing, which is meant to be, well, a winter version of Ron when, you know, he's playing out in the snow and all this other stuff. But this particular Ron, I think, was taken from the Order of the Phoenix, which was when Harry, Ron, and Hermione were gathering up all of their mates and friends and all that jazz to stop Voldemort after the death of Cedric Diggory in the last film before then. So I think this is where this is taken from, personally. But it looks cool. It looks cool all the same. Now we are Dragonor Discord, which I don't know how on earth it ended up being a Ron attire by any means, but I think this is meant to be Ron in Gringotts. And yeah, looks pretty cool. Kind of like an Asian or Uncle Ron or something. So it's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And it comes with all, you know, the things that you would expect from Ron, like his Pingu and whatnot. So that's obviously all there. And in terms of who he's disguised as, he is disguised as, if he's even in the game, I don't even know. I guess he isn't. I guess this isn't supposed to be a disguise of such. Which is a little surprising, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, never mind. And I think this is the final Ron Weasley. Yeah, it is. Okay, how did I go from Ron Weasley to James Potter? I don't even know. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, let's just go with this Ron. I kind of like this version. But yeah, information about Ron. Of course, he's a part of the Weasleys. His father and mother are Molly Weasley and Arthur Weasley. He has a sister who Harry later falls in love with, that being Ginny Weasley. He has cousins and bigger brothers and all that. Yeah, the Weasley family is large, bro. Large. And people in the family are like Bill Weasley, Percy Weasley, of course Fred and George, Charlie Weasley. The list goes on and on, really. His best friends are obviously Hermione and Harry Potter. And of course Hermione and him have a very, very close relationship that then blossoms into love. Ron and Hermione do, that is. So that's what happens there. And his story basically starts out, he's on the train to Hogwarts. And then basically what occurs is he ends up meeting Hermione and Harry for the first time and then becomes friends with them both. And then what happens, well, that's by the end of the first movie, really. Because obviously they were developing their friendship at the time. And then by the time that happened, Chamber of Secrets rolled around. And Ron, along with Harry, are set up with the task to save Hermione and also all the people that were petrified from the basilisk that was later being controlled by Tom Riddle, aka Lord Voldemort, who had Ginny astray, Ron's sister, which meant that Harry had to come and save her, which blossomed Harry and Ginny's relationship up naturally. And yeah, basically what happens after that is basically in Prisoner of Azkaban, Ron is basically helping Harry and Hermione a little bit with trying to save Sirius Black, who just so happens to be Harry's godfather. And of course, he got his story arc was he got locked away in Azkaban for something that he never did, and he was obviously the godfather of Lily and James Potter's son, that being Harry Potter. So Ron's helping Hermione and Harry a little bit with that. And then after that, we move on to Goblet of Fire, and Ron's basically all salty about the Yule Ball and not inviting Hermione before Hermione invited Victor Crumb to the Yule Ball. So he ended up getting one of the Patel twins along with Harry, because he was trying to invite Cho Chang, but that never happened either. So Harry and Ron were stuck with two chicks that they didn't really want to go out with, which is unfortunate for them. But yeah, that happens, and then basically after that, nothing much really happens with Ron after that. And then rolling around to Order of the Phoenix, basically he's helping Harry overcome his emotions over Cedric's death and all the other stuff. All the other traumatizing stuff that happened in Harry's life up to that point. So Ron's helping him cope with all that, not that it's working, along with Hermione as well. She was helping. Then Half-Blood Prince came around, and it was time for Hermione, Harry, and Ron, of course, to go and look for the Horcruxes, and that would last all the way up to Deathly Hallows Part 2. So yeah, they're looking for all of that, and then Deathly Hallows Part 1, they continue searching for Horcruxes, and Ron gets into a bit of a fight with Hermione and Harry due to the necklace they had on for all of that time before then. So they go into a fight, and then Ron walks out, and that basically leaves Hermione in tears, and therefore Hermione and Harry dance it out friendshippingly, by the way, guys, to Old Children by Nick Cave, which was supposed to lighten the mood up a bit, which I do love that scene. I think that is quite a cute scene indeed. Or cute scene indeed. And then Deathly Hallows Part 2 rolled around, and of course Ron, Hermione and Harry were still looking for the Horcruxes, and then basically they would eventually find them, and then head back to Hogwarts and go into the final battle against Voldemort along with everybody else. And then at the same time, Ron and Hermione end up finally starting their relationship that was having its ups and downs throughout the past basically 8 movies. So yeah, that's happening, and they end up kissing, and then later going on to get married and having children of their own, along with Ginny and Harry doing the same, that being Ron's sister, and then Harry and Hermione's kids obviously get sent off to Hogwarts in the tradition that Hermione and Ron obviously built for them, and that was same goes for Ginny and Harry's children. They would also do the same, and that was after the that was after the Second Wizarding War ended. But anyway, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode, then like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. If we could get out to 60 likes, that'd be great. And yeah, ciao guys.